It's a strange new world we're living in, but that's no reason to stop exploring. You just need to change the way you approach it. Welcome to MojoTravels, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 tips for traveling after COVID-19. Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to MojoTravels and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at various practices to help you stay safe and get the most out of travel experiences in the wake of the pandemic of 2020. Number 10. Choose less crowded destinations. It's not exactly a mystery as to why tourists flock to major cities. Top-tier destinations like New York City, Tokyo, Rome, Dubai, and London are home to some of the world's most iconic sites. They're cultural hubs offering up the very best nightlife, food, art, and entertainment all in one place. Unfortunately, because of population density and the number of international travelers they attract, they are also vulnerable to epidemics. Even if the official statement is that these places are open for business when it comes time to book, most experts recommend instead opting for destinations with minimal crowds. It's not just about your personal peace of mind and the social distancing we've all been conditioned to practice. By avoiding crowds, you're doing your small part to help diminish the risks of a resurgence. Smaller towns, natural spaces, and rural road trips are a much better way to go. Number 9. Keep it close to home, at least to start. Does your travel bucket list include destinations on pretty much every continent, ranging from remote islands to megacities? Great! As a travel channel, we're here to help you achieve your dreams of checking them all off your list and make the most out of each and every travel experience. But in the wake of COVID-19, we're also encouraging you to ease yourself and the world back into travel by starting off with a domestic trip or two. Not only does global travel increase the risk of travelers unwittingly carrying the virus with them, but it also puts you in an uncomfortable position should there be another outbreak. As many travelers learned in early 2020, getting home can seemingly overnight become nearly impossible. Plus, borders are likely to be far more complicated to navigate for the next little while. So why not save yourself the headache and explore your own backyard? Number 8. Invest in your physical and mental health. The tragic loss of life resulting from the pandemic has forced us as a society to think long and hard about the importance of health and the shortcomings of our medical systems. There are many health conditions that, unfortunately, are simply the luck of the draw. But there's also plenty that we can do in our everyday lives to diminish overall risk. Through proper diet and exercise, you can make sure that your body is as well equipped as possible should you be exposed to a virus when traveling. Putting aside viral concerns, you're likely to just generally enjoy travel and all the activities it entails more when you're in good shape. The pandemic has also been something of a crash course in navigating deeply serious issues of mental health, such as anxiety and depression. In the lead-up to your trip, you may want to do psychological prep work. Traveling is likely to be, for many people, a more stressful experience than it used to be. Number 7. Go with the best reviews over the best prices. Don't get us wrong, we love bargain hunting. But there's nothing quite like going on a dream vacation and paying a fraction of what people would expect for the experience. Unfortunately, in the wake of the pandemic, the quality of the services we use when traveling suddenly seem far more important. It's no longer just a question of comfort or perks when choosing a hotel, airline, or restaurant, but a matter of safety. If a price seems too good to be true, you need to investigate. They may be cutting corners. And while cheap bed sheets or uncomfortable seats are one thing, the business could be skimping somewhere it really matters, like in terms of sanitation. For hotels and airlines, going with a recognized or reputable company is a good place to start. But even then, let the reviews guide you. They should be high, numerous, and free from red flags. Number 6. Be flexible. As previously mentioned, one clear lesson from the pandemic is that a country or city's health status can change fast. So, when you start planning a post-pandemic trip, try not to fixate on one single destination. Make a list of interesting options and let the available information guide you to the safest option. We're living in a whole new world, and your top choice might not be the smart one. Even once you've picked your destination, you need to be ready to adjust your plans at the drop of a hat depending on local concerns and developments. Factors in your own life might also force you to change your travel plans, like getting sick. Some international destinations might not let you in if you're showing visible signs of illness. And even if they do, people exhibiting disease symptoms in public are likely to get a cold reception for the foreseeable future. Number 5. Get the best possible insurance coverage. Be honest. Before the pandemic, what was your approach to travel insurance? Don't worry, if you answered the cheapest option, you're not alone. You're never planning to get hurt or sick while traveling, and as such, it can often feel like quality medical travel insurance is not always a top priority. But it must be for all travelers going forward. And trip cancellation insurance, that has historically felt like a real luxury, especially for younger travelers, one they might never expect to need. Well, that's another thing that's changed in the wake of COVID-19. Many travelers watch the money they invested in travel plans disappear, at least for a long while. If you're not among them, why not take this opportunity to learn from their misfortune anyways? If you can afford it, go all in and get cancel for any reason insurance. And be sure to read the fine print of the medical insurance to make sure pandemics aren't excluded. Number 4. Don't book anything you can't cancel. In recent years, it's become increasingly common for there to be multiple pricing options for the same flight, hotel room, rental car, etc. But if you want the best price, you usually need to forfeit your right to cancel the reservation and get your money back. The price difference might be fairly negligible, but be that as it may, savings are tough to pass up when dangled in front of you, regardless of the risks attached. Moving forward, however, we're suggesting that you always go for the option that gives you the greatest freedom to back out of your travel plans at a minimal loss. It's better to pay an extra $100 now than potentially lose $3,000 should something go wrong and you not be able to take the trip. Thankfully, whatever you're trying to book, there is almost always a provider willing to offer free cancellation, even if they're not your first choice. Number 3. Consider using a travel agent. Between all these various high-stakes bookings, travel insurance, and the confusion over what destination is safe to visit, planning a trip in this post-COVID world can start to feel seriously overwhelming. That's why travel agents are set to make a comeback in a big way. According to Travel Week, 57% of Canadians are more likely to have a professional handle their bookings following the pandemic. We don't envy the logistical nightmare that travel agents must have faced when the COVID crisis kicked off. But their industry is poised to experience a major resurgence after years of losing business to online booking. And this is a travel industry trend that actually makes a lot of sense. The internet democratized trip planning, but when the crisis struck, booking sites and airlines offered customers little in the way of support. Next time, should something go wrong, you'll be thankful to have a trained industry expert in your corner to fight your battles for you. Number 2. Practice proper hygiene and sanitary habits on the road. We're not the first ones to say it, but a lot of what we've been conditioned to do during the pandemic is stuff we always should have been doing. Not the more drastic stuff like keeping 6 feet apart, but the frequency with which we now wash our hands, definitely. And moving forward, at least for the next few trips, we need to act like we could be asked to perform surgery at any moment. In other words, hygiene above all else. Keep hand sanitizer with you and use it after coming into contact with high-touch surfaces. Wash your hands at every opportunity, and cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. When traveling, you'll also want to pack disinfecting wipes, gloves, and masks. Given how quickly things can change, they should now be considered part of your essential travel kit. Number 1. Do your homework about a destination's pandemic history and preparedness. We're going to level with you. This sucks to even have to talk about. In 2019, pandemic preparedness felt like just about the last thing on your list of metrics by which to judge a travel destination. But the events of 2020 have changed the world as we know it. Depending on when you start traveling again, before settling on a destination, it's important that you take a look at the current state of that country, region, or city. Are there active cases? Do experts consider it to be at risk for a second or third wave? Are there any local restrictions that will affect your experience? These are all important things to consider. You also need to evaluate how the destination handled COVID-19 and what sort of measures they have in place should the worst-case scenario occur and there's an outbreak. Could you wind up stuck there? Choosing destinations that are stable and have a proven track record with crisis will go a long way in making you feel secure throughout your trip. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MojoTravels, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.